Are you looking for ways to boost your SEO so that more of your ideal clients can find you? Today's episode is all about using blogging as a marketing strategy. I'll let you know why this is useful and exactly what your blog should include in order to attract more of your ideal clients and help you rank higher on Google. So listen up and get ready to take some notes.
Hey, Christian therapist, are you craving a counseling career that aligns with your faith and actually supports your well being? Welcome to the Prosperous Christian Therapist Podcast. I'm Kimberly Van Hooser, Christian therapist, private practice owner, and business coach for mental health professionals like you. In this podcast, you'll get practical strategies and faith led guidance to help you build a thriving private practice, one that serves your clients well and makes an impact for the kingdom of God. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your notebook and join me for today's episode.
Welcome to the Prosperous Christian Therapist Podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Van Hooser. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, the owner of a Christian private counseling practice in Colorado, and a business coach for mental health professionals. When I first started my practice back in 2015, I really didn't know what I was doing. I felt a strong calling from the Lord on my life to be a therapist. And as someone who really loves the Lord, everything I do is shaped by that worldview. And I wasn't quite sure how my faith was supposed to be incorporated into the work that I did as a therapist. As a therapist, I've served both the Christian population and the secular population. And I knew that just because I was working with clients sometimes who were not believers, I still knew that the Lord could use me in their lives, but I didn't quite know how to do that. And then, of course, the business side of running a private practice, I'm sure many of you who are listening can relate. Graduate school didn't really teach me the business side of things. So it's something that I really had to try to figure out on my own and to learn as I go. Over the past couple of years, I've really felt God pressing upon my heart to help come alongside other clinicians who are desiring to be serving the Lord in the work they do as therapists and who have a strong desire to launch or grow their private practice and to use that as the avenue to reach people, to bring healing and breakthrough in the lives of their clients and to make an impact. And if that's you, it's really my desire that you find joy in the work that you do, that you have a successful private practice where you wake up feeling really great about the day you have ahead of you. You feel confident in your ability to help the types of clients that you have coming to see you. It's not a recipe for burnout. You're not afraid that you're not going to have enough financially to cover your bills. You also have room in your schedule to sow into the other areas of your life where you're not just being a therapist. You have time, you have resources in order to do things that you love, like spend time with your family, travel, participate in hobbies that are just for fun. Way too many of us in the mental health profession get so focused on just pouring ourselves out to our clients that we forget to get poured into and to allow God to pour into us. You are not first and foremost a therapist. You are first and foremost a son or daughter of God. You were created to be in relationship with Him, to allow Him to enjoy you and for you to be able to enjoy your Father in heaven. And if we're too focused on hustling to find clients in order to pay our bills and the stress of building a private practice, and then pairing that with the stress of emotionally caring for the mental health of our clients, then that takes away from our ability to allow God to enjoy us and our ability to be enjoying the Father and the many things in this world outside of just our career as a therapist that He has for our enjoyment. So that's really my heart behind this podcast and my coaching business is to really help point Christians who are working in the mental health field back to their relationship with the Lord, where they can develop just a deeper closeness and intimacy with Him, which is going to help you be able to know exactly how to walk out what He has called you to do as a therapist. I'm also hoping that the tips and strategies that I offer will help remove and relieve a lot of the stress and the chaos and confusion that can come from building your own practice. So I invite you to keep listening. And if you're looking for more one-on-one support, I do offer individual coaching sessions. I am doing a special right now for your intro coaching call. I will leave some details about that in the description below and share a little bit more at the end of the podcast episode today. If you are looking for an effective marketing strategy that's not only going to boost your findability on search engines like Google, but also attract more of your ideal client, then I would recommend that you try starting a blog on your website. And even if you have a blog, I'm going to share some helpful tips in what you should be including in that blog that might help drive a little bit more traffic to your website. So, blogging can actually be a great form of marketing that becomes pretty passive, where you just make a post, maybe even as infrequently as once a month or once a quarter. And the right clients are just going to be finding you based on what they type into Google and connecting with you based on what they read. A lot of therapists out there do have blogs, but they can be relatively generic or boring, and they're not really doing what they need to do in order to speak directly to the clients that they're wanting to attract. So, if that's you and you feel like your blog hasn't really helped boost your clientele, so you've kind of slacked off on it. So, listen up to what I share today. See if you can make some tweaks or changes on your blog and see if you notice a difference. So, why does the form of blogging that I'll be sharing about today work? For one, it keeps your content on your website fresh and relevant. In order to rank higher on Google, Google likes to know that you are not just some random old website that was created 5 years ago and is no longer active. So, by having a blog that you post, I would say minimum once a quarter, more ideally once a month. You don't have to be doing once a week, but if you're posting fresh content on your website monthly, that's going to tell Google that you are active, that you are ready for business, and it's going to allow you to rank higher on their search engine results. It's also more likely that if you're posting fresh content, that what you're posting is going to be relevant to the person who is searching for you right now. So it's not going to be outdated from, like I said, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's fresh content that the current people, modern society is searching for. And Google is able to pick up on that too. Having a blog also helps showcase your knowledge as a therapist, and it will help clients connect with you before they even choose to call you. Today, we're seeing way more comparison shopping for people who are looking for therapy. They're not just calling one therapist and the first one to call them back they're booking with. They are searching through websites, they're taking their time. So, if you have a blog that specifically speaks to your ideal client, that could be the deciding factor for them that shows them this person knows exactly what I'm going through right now and I want to work with them. Having a blog is also a great way to start gathering and building an email list so you have a warm client base to reach out to in future. So if someone comes across your website and they might not be quite ready to book a session with you yet, but they read your blog and they think that therapist is great. You're starting to build a connection with them. And you don't want to lose that connection. You don't want them to click off of your website. And then when they are actually ready to come in for a therapy session, they can't remember how to find you. So put an invitation on your website to sign up for your mailing list or a monthly newsletter or for the next blog post, and you'll start to see your audience growing. This will also be a great way for you if you decide to do groups or workshops in the future. You already have people to market that to, people who are somewhat familiar with you versus just making a post in a random Facebook group where maybe people might be interested, but if they don't have much of a connection with you, they're less likely to actually take that step and sign up for a group or for a therapy session with you. So next I'll talk about what does your blog need to include in order to make it actually effective. First of all, your blog should include content that your ideal client is craving to read. I found in my coaching work that a lot of my students will say that they know their niche or they know who their ideal client is, but then they have kind of a hard time describing them to me. So, what I would actually recommend is to create an avatar that is basically one person. It doesn't have to be a specific client you've had, although that can inform who your avatar would be. But think about one person and then really get in their heads. Who are they? What are their demographics? What do they do in their day to day? What is it that they struggle with? What are their pain points? What are their desires? What are they needing right now? And then what are the barriers that they see between them and getting what they want and what they need? Really try to get into your niche client's head. And then from that, what kind of content, what kind of blogs would they be looking up? What are they hoping to read that you can share with them? I also think ChatGPT is a great way to brainstorm blog ideas. So don't be afraid to use that for brainstorming purposes and to help you come up with ideas for how to speak to your niche client. A lot of times when I read other therapist websites and blogs, their blogs are pretty generic. It might be something like 5 tips for managing anxiety, which is great. That could be really relevant, but I want you to get as specific as possible. So instead of just 5 tips for managing anxiety, it could be something like 5 ways to handle social anxiety when you're first going back to college. because that speaks directly to, for one, what type of anxiety, social anxiety, and particularly for college students. So, this way, when your anxious college student is Googling for a therapist, they're going to come across your website. And as soon as they see the title of your blog, they're going to want to click on it and read it. Reading it will make them feel more connected to you. They'll be a lot more likely to book a phone consultation with you or possibly just sign up for your mailing list. The next thing that you'll want to make sure that your blog includes are keyword phrases that your client would be typing into Google, not only just to find a therapist, but information for their mental health. For example, your socially anxious college student might not be looking specifically for a therapist, but they might be looking for ways to overcome their social anxiety when they go back to school in the fall. And if they're typing that in, what phrases would they be typing in order to come across your blog, which will then prompt them to recognize, hey, a therapist could help me. And I know which therapist I want is the one who wrote this blog. One thing that I see a lot of therapists forgetting to do or not knowing that they should do in their blogs is to include location specific language. You want to be reaching clients who are located within the area that you're licensed in. So even though your website might be totally findable to someone in Indiana, if you're licensed in Colorado and you can't practice in Indiana, that's not really going to help you boost your clientele. A lot of people, when they're looking for therapists, are Googling things like therapist or counselor in Denver, Colorado. So even if you are just a telehealth provider, make sure that you are tying in language for people in those larger cities, especially because that's going to drive a lot more traffic to your website. Even if you don't have that ability to see people in person, that is okay because a lot of clients are still wanting virtual or telehealth, or that's something they're open to. They're not going to care if you are marketing to people in Denver, but you actually live in Buena Vista, because either way, they still get the same therapist. It's just going to be over telehealth. Weaving that into your blog could look something like this. I'm Susie. I'm a counselor in Denver, Colorado, who loves helping college students who struggle to show up in social situations, feel more confident in themselves. The third thing you need to make sure you include in every single blog post is a call to action. So, after reading the blog post, when the client feels connected, what is the next step that they should take? I would highly recommend that you encourage them to book that phone consultation with you, to get scheduled for their initial session, whatever your next step is in order for a client to be able to book. You can also include a call to subscribe to your mailing letter, but make sure you have several spots where, as they're reading and feeling connected, they have that invitation to connect with you further or to contact you for that next step. This is also a great place to start weaving in some of your location specific keywords when you're doing your call to action. So, just to recap, the three things you need to really make sure that every single blog post includes is number one, content that your ideal client is craving to read. Number two, keyword phrases that they'd be typing into Google and making sure you're paying attention to location specific keywords. And then number three is a call to action, an invitation to have them take that next step with you, whatever that might be. So hopefully that gives you some helpful tips for those of you who already have a blog. Maybe this will actually bring a little bit more breakthrough where your blogging feels effective. And maybe this inspired those of you who don't have one to get one started. It really doesn't have to be something that feels overwhelming. If you're feeling like you need to blog every single week, take that pressure off your shoulders. Just make a goal to maybe write a blog once a month or once a quarter, like I said. Utilize things like ChatGPT to help you. It doesn't have to take very long. Just make sure that you are putting it into your own voice and that you do take time to edit. It really should just be a brainstorming tool, in my opinion. If after listening to this podcast, you're feeling inspired, but you still feel like you need just a little bit more help or direction, I am happy to help you. I can offer one to one coaching sessions that would help you clarify and get really specific with your niche so you know what kind of content to be blogging about in order to attract your ideal client. I can help you identify some keyword phrases and figure out how to incorporate that into your blog, whatever it might be. I'd love to be able to have the opportunity to walk alongside you in your private practice journey. I am doing a special offer right now for coaching sessions where your intro coaching call is only $97. So think about that. I wanted to make it something that is accessible and affordable for people right now. And I want you to think about this investing $97 for a 60-minute coaching session. If you're able to get one thing during that 60 minutes that helps you bring in one client, even if it's just for one session, you're going to make your money back. I guarantee you that my rates are not always going to be this low. This is a special I'm doing as I'm really kicking off my coaching business here. If you would like to get connected with me for a coaching call, I'm going to leave my contact information in the description below. My website is on its way, but right now, just shoot me an email. I do have a specific structured coaching call that I offer. It's called Optimize Your Practice. During my Optimize Your Practice coaching session, I go through 6 different pillars of a healthy private practice so we can pinpoint some focus areas and areas for growth. And then you leave with a specific action plan, knowing exactly what you need to do next in order to take your practice to the next level. So if you know that you need help, but you're kind of unsure exactly where you need help, that is a great option for you. I also do offer just a generic 60-minute coaching session if you have specific questions for me, and we can also get started with that as well. So I would love to have you be one of my coaching students. You're also welcome just to join my free Facebook community for now and just be a part of the wonderful group that I've been building and to engage with your community, fellow clinicians who are believers as well. And I'm happy to answer questions you have in that Facebook group there. So thank you for joining me on today's episode, and I look forward to having you with me for our next one. If you found value in today's episode, would you leave a written review on Apple Podcasts? It helps other faith-led clinicians like you find the show. And don't forget to join my free Facebook community, Start and Grow Your Private Practice as a Christian Therapist, where you'll join other clinicians for encouragement, accountability, and free tips and support. See you there.